Hi everybody, and big welcome to a cEDH gameplay with Mons, Pontus and Jordan hosting the show with a guest Samurai Dance Ruler with us.
Hi.
So this is actually the commander that I'm playing, Narset Enlightened Exile. However, it can't currently be added to the Mox field because they haven't really updated it yet. Elshoff the Infinite is the current sitting commander, but the Narset Enlightened Exile is the one that I'm going to be playing, and we're going to showcase that card and we're going to have it onto the battlefield when I put it into play. If I put it into play. But it's basically a very typical Jeskai build with some Underworld Breach attempt, trying to use Narset as a form of value engine or a rebuild combo potential. But it's just an Jeskai typical Breach deck in general.
Yeah, so we're playing Goro and Satoru because I'm a Kamigawa fan. Pretty standard Grixis shell with a few exceptions, because we have a backup beat you down with dragons plan. So we put dragons in the graveyard and then we reanimate them and then we give them haste and then we get value and then we get more value because my commander cares about creatures attacking and dealing damage the turn they come in. And I don't think cEDH decks are really equipped to deal with 5/5 dragons.
Yeah, so we got requested to play Slimefott and Squee build, so I'm playing it. It's basically just your John things. You have some NAS, you have some creature combos, and the usual good stuff.
Yo, this is mine. This is post Son of Krrik, Son of the Rich build. I don't think Krik's ever really fallen from where it's at in the tier list because it's just what it is. It's a mono-colored, non-blue deck. So basically, we're going to just try to combo out with Horde Broodling, whatever it's called. And that is a one-card combo. We're going to try to do it.
And with that, let's look at some opening hands.
We can do turn one wheel, but that doesn't really do anything. This hand's okay, but we have to wheel into something good and we don't get any value off our wheel. Like, we don't have any fast mana, so we're gonna ship that. This one is bad. This one is bad. This one, it's not great, but I think we're going to keep it because I don't want to go down to 4. Alrighty, well, let's hope Jataxian Probe gets us something good.
All right, so this does have a lot of the things we want, but it's not fast. We're looking for a land on turn 3 by turn 3, and that's not the reason we built this deck. So we're going to go to our second step. This is a hell no. This is not perfect, but damn, is it pretty damn close. This is our 6. We got a Mana Crypt and a Mox Amber with the Blood Pet, an Unmarked Grave. We have Search with Dimir, House Guard. Yeah, this is perfect. We're going to go ahead, move to the bottom of the library, and we're done.
So this hand doesn't contain a good opener, so to say. We have one land, so we could Mystical Tutor, but I'd rather have that as an Enlightened Tutor. Also, we don't really have anything to like develop forward with this hand. Like, we could ramp something, but really nothing. So yeah, we're gonna mulligan this one. If I would have had an Enlightened Tutor in my hand, I would love this hand right now, because we could have Enlightened Tutor for a Mana Crypt and then get Smothering Tide into play turn 2. Sadly, we don't have that. We have a Mox Opal only, and then we have a Brainstorm. With Brainstorm, we could look at 3 cards and use the Wooded Foothills to send those 2 cards we send back from the hand into the deck. So I like Brainstorm. I like the Smothering Tide. I kind of want to have more speed. I want to have something that develops at least turn 2 into a good game of sorts. We're also not getting our commander into play here at all, so we're gonna mulligan and hope for Mana Crypt or Soul Ring. This hand I am kind of satisfied with, however, because we have a Draenei Magistrate for turn 2, which is a little bit slow sometimes regarding the speed of the format in general. We also have a Ponder, so we have a turn 1 play, and then we have a turn 2 play, and we should be able to develop forward with that in general. I'm going to bottom this island, never touching the City of Brass because that's my only white source of mana. So this is the hand we're keeping.
Yeah, so this hand is kind of cute, but it doesn't work. Just having one land and no acceleration doesn't get us to the win that we have in hand, because Improved Recruiter and Mayhem Devil is a win. But since we don't have a way to get there, we would have to like hopefully top deck a land and like Tainted Pact for more mana. That's not a great plan. I'm going to second 7. So this hand is fine-ish. It's a turn 1 Tainted Pact, probably just finding mana though, and that's still not a turn 2 to Vesh. Our commander doesn't do much. We don't really have anything enabling it more. Tyvar is kind of cute, we don't have a payoff in any way. We could just like value mill, but that's just once and then he dies. And the Crop Rotation fights a Gas Grill, but we don't have any creatures. So yeah, I'm not keeping this one either. Go to 6. This one is fine. Just keeping this, yeah. It's nothing much to write home about. We don't have that much mana. We have a Sandit Swarm, which is kind of cute, which is protection. We have a tutor. We don't have any like instant payoffs. We're not in blue, so we can't tutor for like Mystic or Rhystic. Can't tutor for Dockside, which is like which is a B to like 15 different A plus B combos with our commander. But yeah, just developing a turn 1 Sylvan and see where we go from there, which should be fine enough. So yeah, let's see how this goes.
Alrighty, let's play magic cards. I will draw a card. I will start by Jataxian Probing.
But why would you do that? I have no interaction. You don't really need to know what I'm doing.
I kind of do.
You see Krrik, kill Krrik.
Everyone else look away. Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay, cool. No, we are in medium danger. Play an Arid Mesa. I'm going to crack Arid Mesa. I'm going to exile Seaman Spirit Guide for a red and use that red to cast a gamble. Discard. No! I entombed my mana crypt. Alright, well, pass turn.
This is what happens when non-black decks run an Entomb. I'm going to play this Urza Saga so you guys can kind of get an idea of the speed. I'll play a Mana Crypt and pass.
I'm gonna draw a card for turn. I'm gonna play this Training Center that taps for blue and red. And then I'm gonna cast this Mox Opal. And then I'm gonna cast this Mox Diamond, pitching City of Brass to it. I'm gonna tap the Mox Diamond for white mana. And I need to use the Training Grounds as well for this turn 1 Draenite Magi Straight. I'm really happy about getting this one into play before Krrik was able to get into play. I think this is gonna be very key in hurting Krrik. But here I pass the turn to Pontus.
Take my turn. That changes my mental math, but not really. The land for turn is a Bloodstained I would like to fetch, finding a Taiga, exile a Elvish Spirit Guide, tap Taiga to cast a Sylvan Library. With that, I'll pass my turn.
Draw a card. No. Oh, okay. Pass the turn.
Draw, flip a coin, heads is damage. Heads, you play a Mox Amber. Pass turn.
Untap and draw a card. I'm gonna play this Spectator Seating that taps for red and white. Then I'm gonna tap this, and for a blue mana cast a Ponder. When I look at my top 3, these are my top 3. So the cards I'm looking at right here, Talisman, Sol Ring, and Twin Flame, are decent cards overall, like so to say, but we don't really need them. We already have the mana count we more or less need, because I have an Ancient Tomb in my hand. I can't get my commander into play even if I take any one of these, because if I take Sol Ring here, I still won't be able to put my commander into play. So there's like no point. And there are better cards inside this deck. Like I kind of want to draw into an interaction spell, or maybe a tutor, or maybe a big value engine of sorts. So I'm actually going to put all these 3 cards back, even though there's a Sol Ring, shuffle, and look at an other card. So shuffle and draw. Pretty good, pretty okay. Ponder has resolved, and I punch Pontus for 1 with a Sylvan Library in play.
No blocks, take 1.
And then I pass.
Take my turn, draw for turn, Sylvan Library trigger. I will draw 2 more. I will elect to take 8 damage. Land for turn will be this Marshflats, which I would like to fetch. Finding a Bayou. Tap Taiga, Carpet of Flowers. I would then like to move to my post-combat main phase. Carpet will trigger. I'll target Jordan. I'll make a green mana. I'll use it to cast this Birds of Paradise. Then I'll tap a black to cast this Imperial Seal. Imp Seal resolves. As on the top of my library, I'll put a Dockside, because Dockside is part of several different combo lines in this deck. And hopefully they continue to feed it, because if they do, I might actually be able to both cast Dockside and the Invasion of Ikoria to get in the Mayhem Devil. We're still in a problem here because the Draenith just shuts down our combo. We just needed to cast Squee once. That's a bit of a problem for us, but hopefully this will make us be able to find an out to that. Dockside already makes 4 mana, so 1 more and I have a Mayhem, 3 more to kill the Draenith. It's not looking very good, but hopefully we get there. Otherwise we might just cast the Ikoria for value, which is also a play. And we have the Sylvan Library trigger, so yeah, hopefully this works. Pass the turn.
Oh no.
I don't like the oh no. That sounds like another not draw land.
You may be right. Pass the turn.
I'm gonna tap and make a little construct. Look at this big boy, because I don't like heads. Heads is damage. Tails, I survive. Draw for turn. We're gonna get a Mox Opal. Black mana at last. Phyrexian Tower. 1, we'll attempt to cast a Dark Ritual. We've got 1 colorless floating. Final Parting. We're not gonna go too fancy with this. Super annoyed by that Draenith. Villas. We'll put this card to hand. Shuffle. I'd like to attempt to cast a Reanimate. We're going to have Reanimate target Villas. So Villas has a stipulation that states whenever you lose life, you draw that many cards. Reanimate has a fun effect. It puts target card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, and then you lose life, equal to its creature converted mana cost. So Billis will in fact see his own life loss from being reanimated. It's super sweet, super fun, just great all-American value. We're going up to 11 cards in hand. I'm gonna pay 2 life and target Drannith Magistrate. We're gonna draw 2 cards from that. We're gonna tap this Phyrexian Tower and sacrifice this construct. We'll cast a Cabal Ritual. I'd like to pay a mana, target Drannith, 2 life, draw 2. Go down to 1 black, target Drannith for the last time, lose 2 life, draw 2.
This will kill the Drannite, sending it to the graveyard.
I'd like to use my last black and cast Sacrifice. Right now, we've got 8 mana floating. I'm going to go down 4 and 6 life to play Krrik. I'm going to go down 2 life, and we're going to go down the full 4 mana and play Scourge Familiar. Scourge Familiar allows me to discard a card and add a black mana. Go ahead and activate Scourge Familiar's effect. We're going to discard Blaststone. We're going to discard Urborg. We're going to discard Asmodeus. We're going to discard a Swamp to add 4 black mana to play Necroticus. So his first effect is if I would draw a card, I exile it instead. I exile the top card of my library instead. So we don't care about this because Necroticus only copies the activated abilities, which is pay 3 black mana and draw 7 cards, or play 1 black mana and return all cards exiled with it. Since we're not exiling cards, that bottom line means nothing. So we really only care about draw 7 cards. Now I currently have 2 black mana in my mana pool. I'm going to go ahead and go down 4 more life, and we're going to play Shieldred, the Apocalypse. Whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life. Whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. Next, we're going to go ahead and use Necrotic Ooze and pay 6 life through Krrik to draw 7 cards. Does drop us down to 1 life, but we're going to draw 7 and gain 14. So I'm never losing life. I'm just going up continuously. We're going to do that to, we don't run Citadel Aetherflex in this deck. It's just not a great card combo. There's a lot of dead pips in there because, for one thing, Aetherflex is 4 colorless mana. Bolas' Citadel is 3 colorless mana. Instead, what we decided to run, so I have Chainer Dementia Mastery in my grave now. He lets me pay 6 life to reanimate any card in my grave, in a grave. So we would get our Grey Merchant back. We'll drain for all the life, which is right now 10. We'll go up 30. It costs 9 life total to do this. And then Dimir Houseguard, while in grave, with Necrotic Ooze, lets us sacrifice Grey Merchant to repeat this process. And we're just going to drain everybody out here.
Yeah, I have nothing. You win.
GG!
Alright, so that went pretty quick. So, game 2.
Okay. I'm keeping my opening 7. It's not the fastest hand in the world, but we got burned so bad last game that I want to actually just play Magic. And we got some fast mana, we got a bit of interaction. If we can get the Dragon out, it's real fun. We got burned by Gamble last time, but we can't get burned again, right? So yeah, we're keeping this. We're going to have some fun and play Magic cards.
So this hand is pretty decent. I don't think this is a hand you should normally keep. However, I am a play testing player and an experimental player that tries new things now and then. And in my deck tech video, I specifically said that Keldon Flamesage is a card I'm currently play testing. So Krrik is a really fast turbo combo commander. And this is a hand that doesn't really interact with that very well. Well, we have a snap, but we'd also have a turn to Keldon Flamesage. And I kind of want to see how that performs. So I'm actually gonna keep this hand for playtesting reasons. And let's just see how that goes. But normally I would recommend mulliganing this hand.
This hand has everything that we want. Same game plan as before. Turn 2, we're going to play this. Turn 1, we're going to play this. Turn 3, we're going to play this. Going into this. Going into, I think, this. Yeah, we should win from there. But we'll see. Never know. People can play a Drannith Magistrate again. Let's go.
Yeah, we're keeping this for 7. We do have some risks with it, but turn 1 Forbidden Orchard into Carpet, probably making a man of Carpet, and Faithless Looting to find the second land. See, should just be good enough. And then we can cast a command on turn 2, Jessica's Will turn 3. If we need to flash back the Faithless Looting, we have a Dockside in hand. This seems pretty solid. It's not perfect by any means, but it's pretty good. So I'm going to keep it. Let's go with the game.
Let's draw a card. Darkside Shores. And then pass turn.
Draw a card for turn. I'm gonna play this Polluted Delta, sacrifice it immediately. I'm gonna find a Tundra, and I'm gonna cast a Lotus Petal and then pass the turn.
Draw. We don't really need a better play than that. Go ahead and pass.
Take my turn. Land for turn would be a Vern Catacombs. I would like to fetch Finding this Bayou, tap it to cast this Carpet.
The spell pierce your Carpet.
Sure, it's countered. Then I will pass my turn.
Let's draw a card. We're going to shock into Blood Crypt. We couldn't possibly get burned a second time, so we're going to cast Gamble. Close and shuffle. Discard a card at random. No!
Did it really happen again?
Apparently.
You discard Mana Crypt a second time at random.
And pass a turn.
Draw a card for turn. I'm gonna play Ursa Saga as a land drop, and I'm gonna sacrifice the Lotus Petal for a red mana. And I'm gonna use that mana to cast Keldon Flame Sage. This is a creature that can attack and cast spells from the top of my library, a form of value engine. And here I pass the turn.
I think we all can agree that we like playing stuff on our turn. I'd like to tap 2 and cast a defense grid. Yeah, I'll pass.
Go to my turn. Play Forbidden Orchard, exile this Semi-Spirit card, Monster Spirit, and cast the Jessica's Will.
I will gain a spirit.
Jessica's Will resolves, make 5 red. I'll use 2 of them to cast this Dockside. It's Dockside B, I'll make 3 treasures. I will sacrifice 1 treasure, use 2 of my 3 red floating to cast this Opposition Agent. Then I'll use my last red, sacrifice another treasure, cast this Sylvan Library. Then I'll pass my turn.
We will shock in this water grave that no one knew about. Tap those 2 for a Talisman of Indulgence. Pass turn.
I will untap, draw a card. With a counter on Ursa Saga, I'm gonna play this Sacred Foundry. Combat, I wanna attack with Keldon Flame Sage, and I'm gonna enlist. I'm gonna use the enlist power to tap this creature to increase Keldon Flame Sage attack by 3. I'm attacking at Krrik, the person with the defense grid in play. Attack trigger, I will look at the top 3 cards, and I'm allowed to cast this Gitaxian Probe without paying any of its cost. So I would like to look at Krikk's hand. Okay, so you're not winning this game for a while, I think. Cool. Yep, done. You can take them away. And I get to draw a card from that. 3 damage. I'm gonna cast what I drew into, which is this Rhystic Study. Now, normally Rhystic Study is great when you're in like counterspell wars, because you can draw into counterspells and fight off opponents that are winning on their turn. But there's a defense grid, and I don't think I have enough mana for that, so don't know if this is gonna be something that protects me that good. However, I can't really afford anything else considering defense grid on their turn, so might as well cast it anyway. And here I pass the turn.
We got my turn. That is the opposite of removal. Put this at 3, tap it, sacrifice it. Jordan, you want to look away? Mons, you want to look away?
I'll just take a Soul Ring, actually.
Got a floating colorless, tap 1, we'll play a Heartless Summoning. It's an enchantment that costs 2 mana, 1 and a colorless. Creature spells I cast cost 2 colorless less, and creatures I control gain -1/-1. Pass. Damn, that opposition agent was good.
Draw, and then Sylvan Library trigger on the stack. I will draw 2 more. I will just take 8. Land return will be a City of Brass. Tap my Bayou for a Soul Ring. You may draw Moss. Tap 3 to cast this Commander. Paying 1 for Rhystic. Then, using the floating mana, I'll pay for Rhystic for this Lotus Petal. Pass the turn.
Yeah, just look at all these cards I have that are real good. Yeah, I think I'm just passing the turn.
I'm gonna untap first, then I would like to move to draw and draw a card. Then my Ursa Saga ticks up by 1, and I'm gonna tap it in response, and then it's gonna be sacrificed. The trigger of search will now go onto the stack, and there's an op agent in play. However, I'm gonna tap this Tundra.
You very much not want to kill Op Agent here, because Krrik just has the win in hand by tutoring twice. So if that's gone, he has a protected win on his turn. Vamp Tutor and the CDC. You knew about the CDC.
I'll be honest, Pontus kind of got me on this. There's nothing I can do. Because I go Vamp Tutor, but I have no mana.
You have 1 swamp, right?
Yeah, 1 swamp total.
And creatures cost 2 less.
I just have no mana for the game.
I think you're right, Pontus, but like, yes, 1 swamp. I'm gonna take that gamble because you just have 1 sword, and Heartless Summoning sure will help you out, I guess, but I'm still doing this. I'm gonna cast Snap on the opposition agent, and also tap this land for mana while we're at it. So Op Agent is bounced, and I will untap these 2 lands floating a white mana. Then the Ursa Saga will resolve. I'm gonna find a Soul Ring with my Ursa Saga. Now that opposition agent is gone, I'm gonna play this Bloodstained Mire and sacrifice that. Finding a volcanic island, we're going to go to combat with my Keldon Flame Sage, once again tapping this creature to increase his power by 1 at Krrik, because if Krrik is going to search, we might as well punch him a tiny bit. So flipping into a deflecting swat, an island, and oh wait, I can cast this thing. This is a Hydroblast. Count target spell if it's red, or destroy target permanent if it is red. Pontus, your Slimefoot is red. I'm gonna try to cast this on Slimefoot, trying to destroy Slimefoot.
Okay, Slimefoot is dead.
I will go to the grave. I'm gonna cast my commander, Narset Enlightened Master. This is the Narset Enlightened Master. We're gonna turn it over actually. So this yellow card here is my commander. Then I has the turn.
Upkeep. Vampire tier.
I would like to Flusterstorm, paying 4 for your Vampire 2.
That's okay. I'll play an even Stronghold as land for turn, comes into play tapped. Oh, thank God you Flusterstorm there. I will pass my turn.
I'll go to my turn. Soul Trigger, I'll draw 2 more. Pay the 8. So I will start my turn off by taking damage, tapping the Sigil Brass to cast a Faithless Looting. So Faithless Looting resolves, I'll draw 2 and then discard 2. I will discard this Opposition Agent, Witherbloom Apprentice. Land for turn will be this Taiga. Give Krrik another Spirit, have 1 colorless floating. I would like to reanimate my commander and my Opposition Agent by sacrificing this Sapling, using Slimefoot's ability. Slimefoot ETB, I'll make a new Sapling. I will use the colorless floating, crack this Lotus Petal to cast a Bloom Tender. Then I'm passing the turn.
Alrighty, I'll draw a card. We did it. Marshflats. Anything I'll pass?
I'm gonna tap my Sol Ring and cast a Mana Vault. This is gonna trigger Prowess on my commander. And this is kind of why I like Flame Sage inside this deck. Because with my commander, when her Prowess triggers, it triggers on all creatures because everything gains Prowess. So my Kellon Flame Sage is now a 3/4. I'll then tap this and use the mana I have from Sol Ring to cast Fellwar Stone, triggering Prowess again. I'm gonna tap this Fellwar Stone and cast a Ponder. Ponder resolves, I will look at the top 3. I will not have any one of those, so I will shuffle and I will draw a card. So we have pumped up our creatures by a bunch. My Kellon Flame Sage is currently a 5/6, and my Spirit here is a 4/4. So I'm gonna go to combat, and I'm gonna enlist, increasing my Kellon Flame Sage power to 9. Pontus, I am attacking you with everything I have, except this one that is staying back because of, enlisting things. Attack trigger. I will look at the Kellon's Flame Sage ability first. Oh, that's a Jeska's Will. 9 cards. Come on, there's a very specific card we're looking for. So among these 9 cards, I think I'm going to cast Jeska's Will. And on my attack with Narset, I'm going to cast your Jeska's Will from your graveyard, Pontus. So I have 2 Jeska's Will on the stack.
Pass on Jeska's Wills.
So Jeska's Will number 1 resolve. I will exile Mystic Remora, Master Fairmind, and Chandra's Ignition. That's kind of fun. Jeska's Will resolve in Fine Talisman and Deflecting Swat. Now, because I've cast 2 Jeska's Will, Narset is currently a 9/9.
So I'm blocking both your creatures with Slimefoot and Dockside. Both are dead.
So how Jeska's Will actually is that I don't get to keep the mana. And I cast the Jeska's Will during combat, so I currently have 8 red mana, but I can't actually use it to anything in instant speed. So I'm gonna go to my second main phase and let the 8 red mana disappear, sadly. I'm gonna play from the Exile Ancient Tomb as a land drop. I'm gonna tap this land right here and cast my Esper Sentinel. Now I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana available, which means that if I draw into, one seems to cost counter spells like Flusterstorms and etc. I can actually use those on my opponent's turn. And that's great because there's a defense grid in play. Normally you would probably tap out and develop more, but we're gonna hold back so we can actually interact here. And sadly we didn't flip into the key card to win the game with the Kellon Flame Sage, so we're passing the turn here.
Untap, upkeep, draw. City of Traders. Yeah, we'll just tap for Grey Merchant. Yeah, I'm paying for Ristic. And I'm gonna drain everybody for 3, so I'll gain 9. That'll be all for me.
Go to my turn. Then I have a Sylvan Library trigger. Draw 2 more. Just keep 1. Take 1 damage, have 1 mana floating. I'd like to reanimate my Slimefoot and Squee and my Dockside, sacrificing this Sapling. Oh yeah, it's 8. I'll make 8 treasures. I will tap Bloom Tender to cast this Witchclaw Talisman. I can pay for a stick, and the Esper Sentinel as well, actually.
I have no response to Witchclaw. I pass.
So Witchclaw resolves. Cast this Krrik Prospector. Yeah, so the funny part with Slimefoot and Squee is that it's a fungus goblin. Notably goblin. So Krrik Prospector can sack both Slimefoot and Dockside to its ability to make a red, which means I can then reanimate it, and if Dockside makes more than 3 treasures, it's infinite, or 3 or more.
I actually have a response to this. I am going to pay 4 mana to cast a Mental Misstep on your Krrik Prospector, because that is a CMC 1 spell.
It's misstepped. Pay 3 mana to cast a Braids. I would then like to move to my end step. Trigger Braids. I will sacrifice my Dockside, and then Braids trigger will continue resolving. You have to sacrifice a permanent, which is a permanent type, or you lose life and I draw a card.
I'm going to sacrifice a creature I took in here.
Go ahead.
Faster.
I will untap and lose a life to Mana Vault. Draw a card for the turn. I am going to cast my Underworld Breach, a triggering prowess, giving my creatures +1/+1 because of my commander. Breach resolves. I'm going to cast Snap from my graveyard, exiling 3 cards for it, targeting Pontus Opposition Agent.
No response.
Snap resolves. I will untap 2 lands. Spellseeker.
In response to the opposition getting bounced, I am going to fetch.
Spellseeker Search resolves. I'm going to find this 2 CMC Brain Freeze and put that one into my hand. I'm going to cast from my graveyard Lotus Petal by exiling 3 cards for it, triggering prowess again. I'm gonna sacrifice the Lotus Petal and use the floating mana that I had and cast Brain Freeze targeting myself. This is the 5th spell for the turn, so I'm going to mill 15 cards to my graveyard. I have now assembled the Brain Freeze, Lotus Petal, and Underworld Breach combo. From this point forward, I can sit and mill out my entire deck and generate mana by exiling cards into Lion's Eye Diamond here to basically build a really high storm count. Prowess trigger is gonna trigger every single time, making my commander, Keldon Flamesage, and Esper Sentinel really capable of attacking really hard. I have 3 opponents, and sadly currently they have blockers. However, I do have a combo inside this deck that doesn't really care about the amount of blockers my opponent has. So I'm gonna mill until I find Dual Caster Mage and Twin Flame into my graveyard. I actually had Twin Flame in my hand, but just milling until I find Dual Caster Mage. Cast Twin Flame, targeting any one of my creatures, then in response holding priority, casting Dual Caster Mage on the ETB targeting Twin Flame. And even if someone actually has counterspells, I have like a Fierce Guardianship and more counterspells in my graveyard, so I can just counterspell that by just exiling a few cards. The ETB is gonna make a token out of Twin Flame. Token from Dual Caster Mage is gonna target the original Twin Flame again, making infinite Dual Caster Mage. And now that I have acquired a whole bunch of Dual Caster Mage, I wanna go to combat and I wanna swing at everyone with infinite 2/2s and win the game. GG's! Yes, Narset wins!
Yeah, not the best showing. Didn't really get to do anything, so better luck next time.
We're close to getting there, but sadly we just couldn't go the distance. That's how it goes sometimes. Good game.
Not so great. Opposition agent stopped us. So that's the game.
I don't think we were particularly lucky in this game, but I think my opponents were a little bit more unlucky than I was.